Hello, everybody. This is Grudo King. I don't have too much to say today. Um, this is gonna, I guess, serve as a compliment to my Through It, Not Over It video, which, if you haven't seen that, um, some of you have given me some pretty positive feedback, and I appreciate it. And the more I think about um, that aspect of the like studying our Father's words together and moving forward together and unifying together, I think that video, the analogy of that video, it really works. And the more I like it, the more I'm very happy with it. This video is going to be much shorter. Maybe it'll be much shorter. I don't have too much to say. It's definitely going to be more of a pessimistic one though. So yeah, I mean, prepare for that, I guess. Uh, if you are wondering why we can't go through the trench and not over the trench, the problem I want to discuss today is exactly why. So I got a a comment from Sean in the body. As some of you have definitely seen his comments, um, I think that he is being hit with the um, futility that I got hit with a few months ago, and I completely agree. What I'm gonna do is go to this video. You hear it already, but it's the video. He sent this to the little concordant book club study that we have. It's this video by Faith Igniter, the non-pre-existence task force interview with Norman Lebel. Here's what Sean said. And Sean brought this to my attention maybe a few days ago as well, like in a comments section. And he was very frustrated, and understandably so. Um, I don't see where he's not justified in feeling this way. He expressed to me that our brother Norman had has called us unbelievers. Really, you believe in two gods. You don't believe in one God. It's a disqualifying belief. Straight up, it just is. There's no loophole. There's no secret way around it. There's no logic train where all of a sudden, because we feel like it, suddenly you can be a believer because we love you, so we'll give you a free pass this time. No, you are calling people unbelievers with this. It's not the first time that Norman's done this. He made a stream, the Benitarian stream, where we're like this. And he's also not the only one. There's been some Rocky Raccoon guy who says we're just unbelievers. Liam also refuses to acknowledge that his position that we're rejecting the faith of Christ, which is the channel through which we are saved, which removes us as believers. Like these are logical conclusions. These are the only logical conclusions that can really be drawn from rejecting such critical aspects of Paul's message. For us, there's one God, out of whom all is. For us, there's one Lord, through whom all is. It is through Christ's faith that we are justified, the platform on which we are conciliated, and the method by which we are going to be extricated out of the eon. There's no way around this. You can't say this about other human beings and then turn around and simultaneously say that, oh no, but you're a believer because my new parameters that I'm establishing are completely okay, and they give you specifically, Sean, in the body, a free pass. Do you hear how condescending that sounds? Because if you don't, I'm sorry, but you're part of the problem. And here's Mr. Faith Igniter responds in just the same way by saying, actually, it's the pre-existers who claim that God created through Jesus Christ. They seem to think that through means by, but in reality, God created all himself. This is a perfect example of someone who's talking past you. They're not paying attention to what you did say. They're going, oh, here's an absolute statement that I'm going to state to make myself feel better in order to dodge what you did say. What Sean did say was, I don't know how anyone holds to pre-existence, or I don't know anyone that holds to the pre-existence that sees Christ as another God or co-created, which is true. None of us have ever said that. And I haven't heard that, but whenever me and Seth have gone live, especially, we have said, if someone thinks this, stop thinking it. It's not true. And yet, Richard here creates this. They seem to think that through means by. No, through is a channel. It is through. It is not the source of any power. It is the means of by which the source is communicated. At all times, the source is God. That has never been in dispute by someone believing that Christ existed before his physical birth. But you can't get through to that point with Richard because Richard has created a wall around himself where this statement is just the deferment, and none of what you actually say, in this case, it's really not a difficult statement, it's just this clear statement, exists. And what's worse is that this statement doesn't deal with the problem. It doesn't deal with any of the problem. It's not conciliatory. It's not, hey, I get you. I think that Norman stepped over the line here. It's not taking a stand on what's true, which is that Sean is, hey, in the body. But it's just all the way out in, well, actually, because I say this, I think this, so you think that. What it is an implicit defense of Norm's statement, which is sad. It's not right in the slightest. You can't lie about someone's position, especially as Richard does here, because if Richard had seen even remotely some of the refutations to his position, he wouldn't be able to just say this, because Sean has seen the rebuttals to Richard's position before Richard has, apparently. So Sean is going to have that refutation, which he gets into. He starts to get into, well, I don't agree that this is the route to take because this is, of course, Richard's going to say no because he doesn't like what Revelation 19:13 says, but whatever. Nevertheless, there have been rebuttals to especially this position given more than once. To throw it out is kind of insane. You can't lie about the position of another person and then say, but I love you. That's not love. That's manipulation. It's not etiquette in any capacity. It's not a social etiquette. It's not an intellectual etiquette. It's not a loving emotion or disposition that you're conveying to another human being that's speaking to you. And then especially having the audacity, especially saying you believe in Paul's evangel, to say we're unbelievers in all but name and project that message out to anyone who will listen while simultaneously refusing to do the research on any refutation to your position, is extraordinarily anti-Paul in practically every aspect. You're scorning believers, you're scorning people, which the Greek element of the word, it's Romans 14, out not yet one. You are putting yourself above other people, and you are effectually deciding for yourself something outside of 1 Corinthians 15, 3 and 4, and saying, well, no, I can choose that these people aren't thinking this by saying that they believe that Jesus is God, which is a disqualifying belief, or that there are two gods, which is a disqualifying belief. What's worse is if you think it's just me, like if you think it's just me coming onto this video right now and going, hey, I saw this comment once. It's not. It's so not. There's multiple people who message me personally, message me in a Discord, message me on comments saying this is insane. It is insane that there's other human beings who say they believe Paul who are saying this about other people in the body of Christ. Sometimes I feel crazy because I'm like the only one here that seems to like stand up and say it. But wow, no. Paul admonishes this behavior. He expresses clearly that this is some of the worst behavior, the lifting yourself above others. It is not right. I don't blame people for just clamming up. Other people just they know. I mean, there are people like Tim who will just be like, look, what else am I supposed to do? I just can't like talk about it because we're so alone in the world. We're so alone in the world. We don't have anyone else. We have each other and that's it. And when each other starts going rejecting the other based off of personal feeling and not actual fact, while ignoring what they actually are saying, which is the worst form of I'm better than you in pride that you could ever have, then you're really saying, I don't care that we're all that we have in the world. I'm still going to be better than you, and I'm just me. It's putting yourself on a pedestal in the worst way, in one of the saddest ways. This is why we can't go through the trench. It's impossible to go through something together when half the party has said, we're not paying attention to you. We don't care what you have to say, even if it's scriptural, and we don't even think you're really believers. But we won't say that because we're nice. We're nice. We're kind. We love you, so we won't say it to your face. That's slimy. That's wrong. And again, Paul admonishes that behavior very often. And he even calls it conceited in 1 Timothy 6. It is wrong. Woe to those who stick to that behavior. I hope that your flesh is exterminated, that you're given over to Satan, that you are taken care of by your Father, that you're disciplined accordingly, because this is wrong. This is not right. There's never going to be a platform or never going to be a day where this suddenly becomes right in the eyes of Paul, where this becomes good or loving. It's not. Please, in all ways, grow up. Don't stagnate.